Every year, thousands of adults over 60 lose their balance in a moment that feels minor, but changes daily life in a major way. A small turn in the hallway, a missed step near the curb, a quick reach in the kitchen that pulls the body just far enough off center. Most people think this happens because they are simply getting older, or because their legs are not strong enough anymore. But that is usually not the full story. The real problem is that the body's balance system has not been trained in the specific way it needs to keep you upright when life becomes unpredictable. I am your doctor, and today I want to show you 3 simple wall exercises that can help rebuild the balance skills your body relies on every single day. No gym, no equipment, no getting down on the floor, just a wall, a few minutes, and steady practice that teaches your body how to catch itself before a wobble becomes a fall. One of my patients was 68 when she told me something that stayed with me. She said, "I am not just afraid of falling outside, I am starting to feel unsteady in my own home." She was walking more carefully, turning more slowly, and reaching for furniture without even realizing she was doing it. What bothered her most was not weakness, it was the feeling that she could no longer trust her body to correct itself. We began with 3 wall exercises that looked almost too simple to matter, but within a few weeks, she noticed something important. She did not suddenly feel athletic. She felt more stable, and when stability comes back, confidence starts coming back with it. That is where real change begins. So let us start with the first move. Exercise 1 is the wall march hold. Stand facing the wall with both hands resting lightly against it around chest height. Step your feet back just enough so that you are standing upright with support nearby, not leaning your full weight into the wall. Keep your feet about hip-width apart. Now slowly lift one knee a few inches off the floor and hold it there for 5 seconds. Lower it with control, then repeat on the other side. Do 10 holds per side. This exercise may look like nothing special, but it trains one of the most important balance skills you use every time you walk. Walking is not just moving forward. Walking is a repeated series of controlled moments on one leg. Every single step asks one leg to support you, while the rest of the body stays organized above it. If your body cannot control that moment well, you feel unsteady long before you understand why. As you lift the knee, the standing foot has to react to small shifts in pressure. The ankle has to make corrections. The hip has to stop the pelvis from dropping. The core has to keep the trunk from drifting. That is why this is not just a leg exercise. It is balance training hidden inside a very simple movement. The wall is there to reduce fear, because fear changes how the body moves. The moment you feel unsafe, the body stiffens. And when the body stiffens, balance usually gets worse, not better. Support allows the right muscles and the nervous system to do their work without panic taking over. Keep your chest tall. Do not lean backward as you lift the knee. Do not grip the wall tightly. Do not let the standing hip push out to the side. Keep the standing knee slightly soft, never locked. If the foot on the floor starts to shake or the ankle feels like it is working hard, that is not a sign that you are failing. That is the exact response you are trying to wake up. The body is learning how to stabilize instead of freeze. My patient told me this first move surprised her. She expected it to feel easy, but one side felt much less controlled than the other. She could hold the stronger side without much trouble, but on the weaker side, her body wanted to sway almost immediately. She thought that meant she was too far behind. I told her it meant we had found the missing piece. Balance problems often stay hidden until a simple drill exposes them. And once you expose them, you can train them. By the end of the second week, she noticed that walking through her kitchen felt less rushed and less shaky. By the 4th week, she said something very simple, but very meaningful. She said, "I feel like I can place my steps better." That is what improvement often sounds like. Not dramatic, not flashy, just quieter, steadier, more controlled movement in normal life. And that is exactly what helps prevent falls. If one side feels weaker for you too, pay attention to that. Most people do not know they have a less stable side until they are forced to catch themselves on it. The second exercise helps train the body to handle those shifts more smoothly before they turn into stumbles. Exercise 2 is the wall side-to-side weight shift. Stand facing the wall with both hands resting lightly on it, or stand sideways with one hand touching the wall if that feels more comfortable. Keep your feet a little wider than hip-width apart. Now slowly shift your body weight to one foot without lifting the other foot completely off the floor. Then move slowly back through the middle and shift your weight to the other side. Go side to side with control for 12 slow shifts in each direction. This exercise retrains lateral balance, which is one of the most overlooked reasons adults lose stability after 60. Most people think about balance as falling forward or backward, but many real-life falls begin when the body cannot manage a shift from one side to the other. Think about stepping around a pet, turning in a narrow bathroom, moving aside in the grocery store, or catching yourself when one foot lands awkwardly. In those moments, your body has to transfer weight smoothly from one leg to the other without collapsing, rushing, or overcorrecting. That is what this movement teaches. As you shift to one side, feel the pressure move into that foot. Let that leg accept your weight without the upper body tipping wildly. Then come back through center and shift to the other side the same way. Slow movement matters here. Fast movement hides weakness. Slow movement reveals it. And once weakness is revealed, it can start being corrected. Do not turn this into a sway. Do not throw your shoulders side to side. Do not let momentum do the work. The goal is not simply to move. The goal is to control where your center of mass goes and how your body responds when it gets there. That is real balance training. Your brain is learning where your body is in space. Your hips are learning to support you when the weight changes. Your ankles are learning to adjust pressure under the feet. These are the reactions that protect you when everyday movement is not perfectly predictable. Once the basic side-to-side shift feels more controlled, you can make it slightly harder. Bring your feet a little closer together and repeat the same slow transfer. A smaller base of support forces the system to work more precisely, but only progress when the first version feels safe and organized. Balance improves best when the challenge is honest, not reckless. One mistake people make with this exercise is rushing through the middle. They are comfortable on one side, uncomfortable during the transition, and then they hurry to the other side. But in real life, transitions are where balance is often won or lost. The change from one leg to the other is not a small detail. It is the whole game. When that transition becomes smoother, walking feels smoother, turning feels smoother, recovering from little surprises becomes much easier. This was the exercise my patient said changed how she felt when moving around corners in her home. Before, if she turned too quickly, she got that brief sensation that her body was not fully underneath her. After practicing these slow side-to-side shifts, she said her weight felt more connected to her feet. That may sound simple, but it matters more than people realize. When your body feels connected to the ground, you stop moving like every step is a risk. If these first two exercises are already making you realize that balance is not something you either have or do not have, stay with me, because the third move is the one that brings everything together. It is the one that most directly trains the body to correct itself before a fall begins. Exercise 3 is the wall single-leg fingertip stand. Stand sideways next to the wall, with the hand closest to the wall touching it with just your fingertips. Not your full palm, not a firm grip, just your fingertips. Keep your feet hip-width apart and your eyes focused on a spot straight ahead. Now slowly lift the outside foot 1 inch off the floor and hold that position. Start with 10 seconds, then switch sides. Do 5 holds per side. This is where deeper balance training really begins. Every step you take in daily life is, for a brief moment, a single-leg balance challenge. If the body cannot manage that well, walking becomes cautious, turning becomes uncertain, and uneven surfaces become much more threatening. This move trains the body to stay organized on one leg while support is close by, which makes it one of the safest and most effective ways to rebuild real-world stability after 60. Your fingertips matter here for a reason. They are not meant to hold you up. They are there to lower fear without removing the challenge. The moment you press hard into the wall, the body stops solving the problem for itself. And balance only improves when the body learns how to solve the wobble, not avoid it. Keep the standing knee soft. Keep your chest lifted. Try not to let one hip hike up or drop down. Keep breathing. If your ankle shakes, let it shake. If your body makes small corrections, let it make them. A controlled wobble is not a bad sign. It is a learning sign. The nervous system is receiving information and responding in real time. That is exactly what needs to happen if you want better balance outside of exercise. Many people quit too soon on this drill because the shaking makes them nervous. But shaking does not mean danger. It usually means the right muscles are finally being asked to participate. The little stabilizers around the ankle, hip, and trunk are waking up. Those small muscles may not feel impressive, but they are often the difference between a quick recovery and a hard fall. When 10 seconds becomes manageable, work toward 15, then 20, then 30. As you improve, lighten the touch on the wall even more. There may eventually be moments when your fingertips are barely there at all. That is excellent, but do not rush it. Earn it. Better balance is built through honest repetition, not through pretending you are steadier than you really are. If one side feels much harder, that is very common. In fact, it tells you something useful. The body has probably been compensating for that side for a long time. One leg may be better at catching you. The other may be the leg you quietly avoid trusting. This exercise helps close that gap. The goal is not to look perfect. The goal is to become harder to knock off center and quicker to recover when life does try to knock you off center. The patient I mentioned earlier started with only a few shaky seconds on her weaker side. She kept apologizing for wobbling. I told her those few honest seconds were far more valuable than 30 fake seconds with a tight grip and a rigid body. Within 2 weeks, she had doubled her hold time, but even more importantly, she had stopped reacting to every wobble like it meant she was about to fall. That change in mindset matters, because once the body learns how to recover, the mind starts to trust movement again, and that trust changes daily life. You stand from a chair and do not need that pause to gather yourself. You turn in the bathroom and do not feel that quick drift. You step onto uneven ground and recover faster instead of freezing. The benefit is not just physical, it is psychological. You stop shrinking your life around the fear of losing balance. Now let us put these 3 exercises together clearly. The wall march hold trains controlled single leg support during walking. The wall side-to-side weight shift retrains how the body transfers pressure from one leg to the other. The wall single leg fingertip stand builds the correction skills that help you stay upright when the body starts to wobble. These are not random movements. They train 3 of the exact balance abilities that often fade quietly after 60, standing securely on one leg, shifting weight without losing control, and correcting instability before it becomes a fall. Do these exercises once a day if you can. Move slowly. Focus on control, not speed. If you need to start with fewer repetitions or shorter holds, that is completely fine. Start where your body is honest. That is always the right place to begin. Then build from there. Give these 3 wall exercises a few weeks of consistent effort and pay attention to what changes, not just during practice, but in life. Notice how you walk through your home. Notice how you turn. Notice how you step off a curb, reach for something high, or recover from a small stumble. That is where the real result shows up. Not in how impressive the exercise looks, but in how much safer and steadier ordinary life begins to feel. You do not need perfect balance. You need better balance than the version of you that felt uncertain yesterday. That is how progress works. Quietly, gradually, repetition by repetition, day by day. Your wall is enough to begin. Your body is still capable of learning, and your balance can improve far more than most people think. If this helped you, subscribe to Wellness Daily and share this with someone over 60 who keeps saying they feel unsteady, but keeps putting it off. One simple share could help them rebuild the balance that protects their independence. Start today, stay consistent, and let your body remember how to keep you on your feet.